Alright, in this video, we're going to talk about the grip, the stance, and how to line up to the ball to hit your shots at the target you are aiming at. Alrighty, so with the grip, most clubs have a line right here that lines up with your head. So if you put your head flat on the ground, the line will line up with that. So what you want to do first is take your right hand, or if you're left-handed, your left hand, and put it on your club like that, just kind of lined up with your knuckles, and then wrap it with your thumb pointing down at those lines. And you want to take your your index finger and your pinky like this and overlap them. So this hand's the same thing with your thumb pointing down. You just want to overlap those two fingers. So like that, head down, and the lines on your club pointing down. And that is how you hold the golf club. So now for the stance, what you want to do is get your ball, just set it down. You want your feet to be no further than shoulder width apart, because that will lead you to hook it or slice it. That's really the exact opposite of what you want to do. So just feet shoulder width apart. The ball really just needs to go right in the middle, and your club head straight, the lines pointing down. The same thing with the grip. Now you want your knees bent and your back kind of straight. Just want to keep your head down and you're ready to hit a dinger. Alright, so on top of those last two things, one more thing is you want your head to always be still when you swing. So like, you don't want to line up to your ball and look up when you hit, or you'll pop it. That's not good. So a good drill to do is get your ball, again, feet shoulder width apart. Same thing with the grip. And when you swing, keep your head down the whole time. Just let your buddies tell you where the ball goes, because when you're starting out, it doesn't really matter if you're hitting it far. It just matters that it's going straight and that you got the fundamentals down. Scoring and distance will come later in your life, so just focus on the keys to begin with. When it comes to the swing, another important step besides your head being still is your left arm straight, or if you're right or left-handed, your left arm straight. So what that means is when you swing, you don't want it to bend like that. You always want to keep it straight, and you want to keep this arm, you want to keep it close to your body. So you don't want to swing and bend it, because it normally results in a chunk or a slice or something like that. So get your ball, feet shoulder width apart, focus on keeping the head down and your arms straight. And that way it will result in a good shot. Covered your whole stance and grip and swing. You really just want to focus on not getting into bad habits, especially when you're first starting. So one thing that I did when I first started was, when I was swinging, I would come down over the top. So I'd get here, and then I'd just kind of get lazy and come over the top. And what that's going to do is 9 out of 10 times you're going to slice it really bad. And that is, again, the exact opposite of what you want to do. So one thing that's good is, when you're swinging, you want to take your club and just kind of stop right there. So you always want to have it parallel to the ground. So just go slow, parallel there, and then parallel back here, and then come through. So here's an example of if you come over the top. Yeah, so that slice is pretty bad. So now we'll do one like I just explained. If you're first starting out, a good drill is just take it back here and through. So just parallel and then through, and that went straight as an arrow. So yeah, that's only going to be like 3/4 of the distance, but hitting it 3/4 and straight is better than full power and right, because you're just going to lose that like 1/4 of a yardage going to the right. So it really doesn't matter. All people get into is moving their feet around when they swing. So like for me, I play baseball, so when I got into golf, I would move my feet around a lot like a baseball swing. So something that you don't really want to do is like move that one a lot when you swing. This one's fine for when you finish, but so when you swing, you don't want to like lift it up or anything, because that's just going to be a chunk or a top or a slice, or pretty much anything bad you don't want to happen will happen. So when you swing, You just want to try to keep it as flat as possible. So, and then finish on your back foot like that, and just keep your belly button and shoulders and everything pointing to the target, which we will talk about next. Alright, so the last thing we're going to talk about in this video is target and what to aim at and what to help you with your target, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so out there in the middle is the 150 sign. So what I'm going to do is I have a pitching wedge. I'm just going to aim at that and try to get it within 15 or 20 feet and act like that is the hole. So what you want to do is back up from your ball, keep your eyes on it, and point your club at it, whichever one that is. So just keep your eyes on it, your club pointing at it, and when you step up to the ball, keep your eyes on it. And then when you line up to it, your shoulders should be pointing exactly at it. One thing that's a good drill is do this, and your club should be pointing at it. Or, I mean, if you have the time, just set it down, and it'll be pointing at it. So yeah, and then just adjust your feet, and you're ready to go. Alrighty, that was a little right, but that was pretty good. So I'll just do that for the rest of the time. It's just a good drill to get into and a good habit to get into on the golf course, especially to lower your score. Alright, so that'll wrap it up for this video. Stay tuned for more to come, and just get out there and practice, because that's the only way you can become better and keep hitting dingers.